Svtv state government to include discipline and moral lesson in schools. Svtv state government to establish psychiatric hospital. The federal government has stopped a popular Vision FM discussion program in media. On business, Nigeria loses 557 billion naira to contract inflation. And on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau situation is said to be under control. And in sport, Cameroon's young lionesses to arrive Thursday for Falconet. Hello there, welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I'm Fauzi Ibrahim. Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalle says the state government will include discipline and moral lessons in the schools across the state. The governor, who stated this at the flag-off of distribution of cash and food items to the needy and vulnerable, organized by Zakat and Endowment Board, expressed worry on how students, including Sangha knowledge seekers, lack discipline, which resulted in increasing criminalities in the state. He called on parents to take good care of their children and instill discipline in them, which will go a long way in complementing government's efforts in ensuring crime-free states. Governor Matawalle also appealed to Islamic scholars to preach to those engaging in banditry and other criminal activities for peace to reign in all parts of the state. The governor commended the Zakat State Collection, Distribution and Endowment Board for initiating packages for less privileged in the state and promised government support and cooperation. Chairman of the board, Sheikh Abubakar Muhammad Sudangi, said 610 needy children from 17 emirates of the state will benefit from cash assistance, food items and scholarship. Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalle of Zamfara State said his administration will soon create and construct a befitting psychiatric hospital in the state. The governor discloses at the launch of third phase program of the state Zakat Collection, Distribution and Endowment Board, which entails classified assistance to less privileged and other needy individuals drawn from the 17 emirates of the state. He noted that his administration resolved to establish a psychiatric hospital in the state to relieve citizens of the difficulties they encounter in accessing psychiatric services elsewhere and to eradicate the effects of drug addiction, which leads to criminal tendency. Governor Matawalle further stated that economic empowerment is the key to his government, pledging more economic empowerment initiatives for the benefit of state citizens. He commended the board under the leadership of Sheikh Abubakar Ibn Sudangi for its laudable initiative beyond its primary roles, but also in aspect of poverty alleviation, assuring the board for all necessary support for it to succeed. Commercial drivers along the Gusau-Magami Road in Zamfara State have embarked on an indefinite strike due to persistent attack by bandits on the road. They called on the authorities to deploy adequate security in the area, which had been taken over by the hoodlums. Newsmen reported that the drivers abandoned the road on Tuesday, a situation that crippled the socio-economic activities of people living around the 95-kilometer road. One of the drivers, Musa Idris, while speaking to newsmen, said that the bandits were also seen on the road, especially on market days when there were a lot of people. According to Idris, no fewer than 15 commercial drivers and several passengers were abducted in just 2 weeks. He added that some vehicles were also burnt by the hoodlums. Another driver, who gave his name as Malam Samaila, said his golf car was burnt by the bandits. Malam Samaila appealed to the relevant authorities to come to their aid. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday in Abuja launched a 62 billion naira trust fund to help Nigeria end AIDS as a public health threat and place more people living with HIV on treatment annually. Speaking at the launch of the HIV Trust Fund of Nigeria, the president pledged that his administration will continue to give priority to health intervention to address killer diseases and public health emergencies. At the last United Nations General Assembly high-level meeting on HIV and AIDS, the president made a call for a renewed global action to address the HIV and AIDS epidemic in Africa, ending AIDS as a public health. The president says Nigeria's purposeful partnership with the private sector in the response of COVID-19 pandemic had provided a readily available financing solution to leverage on to sustain the HIV response. He commended the National Assembly for the Control of AIDS and the Nigerian Business Coalition Against AIDS for their effort in establishing the HIV Trust Fund for Nigeria to secure a generation of babies free from HIV. He also expressed delight with the attendance in person of notable global key players in HIV response from the private sector at the event and the pledges made. The federal government of Nigeria has stopped a popular Vision FM program called Idomikia. The program was stopped due to its criticism to the government of Nigeria. The management of Vision Media Service in Abuja received a letter from the Federal Ministry of Information that henceforth the discussion program Idomikia should be stopped. The management confirmed to newsmen through one of its managers, Shuaibu Mungadi, that the Vision Media Service also received another directive from the National Intelligence Agency to stop further airing of Idomikia. Idomikia is a popular discussion program being aired by senior broadcast journalists and owners of Vision FM from Abuja, which include Umar Faruk Musa, Shuaibu Mungadi, and Abubakar Kabiru Mutazu. The program's discussion is centered around governance, spending of government, including budget tracking and insecurity bedevailing the nation. Newsmen gathered that the stoppage of the program may be associated with the criticism of the head of Nigeria's intelligence agency, Ambassador Ahmad Rufai Abubakar, where the anchors of the program discussed his alleged incompetence in handling the National Intelligence Agency, in which he was pissed off. The House of Representatives has recommended a total compensation of 390 million naira from the Nigerian Customs Service to victims of clashes between its men and communities in Isiyi, Oyo State, Jibia, Katsina State, and Igangan, Ibora, and Tapa, Oyo States. The House Committee on Customs and Excise, led by Honorable Lekie Abejide, had investigated the three separate incidents and reported its findings and recommendations, which the House adopted on Tuesday. The panel, in its recommendation for compensation on the killings in Isiyi, Igangan, Ibora, Tapa, and Jibia, asked NSC to pay 20 million naira each to the 16 deceased families and 2 million naira each as compensation to the person who sustained injuries during the clash. Federal government has inaugurated a new National Council on Productivity to address the issues of low productivity in the country. Inaugurating the council on Tuesday, Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngigi, stated that the federal government attached great priority to enhancing national productivity and upgrading the nation's global competitiveness and ranking. Senator Ngigi, presented by his Permanent Secretary, Labour and Employment, Dr. Yerima Peter Tarfa, noted that the council was being inaugurated for the effective implementation of the national policy on productivity. He stated that major thrust of the policy was to serve as roadmap for sustainable productivity, growth and development in Nigeria. Senator Ngigi urged relevant stakeholders to collaborate for an effective implementation of the policy. The minister noted that the low level of productivity constituted one of the major obstacles to the nation's development, adding that the nation was faced with the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic, youth unemployment and restiveness, poverty, insecurity, high inflation rate, financial crisis, among others. He said increased productivity will be achieved through change of attitude of individuals to work and provision of effective services. And on business,
Audio Jungle.
The revelation of Paragil Leadership Support Initiative says the federal government lost of 557 billion naira between 2013 to 2017 and to infrastructures relating to award of contracts, unremitted advances to staff, contract inflation, among others, is not only deplorable but also condemnable. The lead researcher, Osonuga Adediji, made the revelation during PLSI's 5th anniversary and launch of research themed achieving accountability and development in Nigeria. According to him, the federal government lost 17 billion naira to unretired advances grants to staff. 26 billion naira was lost due to abandonment of contracts and projects. He explained that 17.4 billion naira was lost due to non-remittance of taxes, while a whopping 188.6 billion naira was lost due to the non-collection of arrears of taxes by the Federal Inland Revenue Service. He further said that the loss of revenue due to non-remittance of internally generated revenue to consolidate revenue fund stand at 157 billion naira. He said about 51.3 billion naira was also said to be lost due to payment vouchers not presented for audit over payments of salaries and allowances. And on the international scene,
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Sustained gunfire was heard on Tuesday near the seat of government in the West African state, in what the African Union and a ECOWAS bloc called an attempted coup in Guinea-Bissau. During the afternoon, heavily armed men surrounded the government palace, fueling fears of a coup attempt. President Mbala and Prime Minister Nuno Gomes Nabiam were believed to have gone to attend a cabinet meeting there. Following the news of a possible coup, the economic community in West African state issued a statement urging soldiers to return to their barracks, saying they will be held responsible for the well-being of the president and government members. After the incident, President Umaru Embalo said the crises are now under control in the West African capital, ending more than 3 hours of uncertainty. The president delivered the speech during the ceremony celebrating Independence Day at the September 24 stadium. And on sports, Cameroon's under-20 girls, young lionesses, will fly into the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, on Thursday for their FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Fourth-round second-leg clash with the Falconets of Nigeria scheduled for Saturday at the Mashood Abiola National Stadium. The Lionesses, who held the rampant Falconets to a scoreless draw in the first leg played at the Stade Reunification in Douala penultimate Saturday, will arrive aboard an Air Ivory flight. Newsmen reported that the match officials for the encounter slated to kick off at 4 p.m. on Saturday will arrive in Nigeria latest Thursday, with the Confederation of African Football having appointed. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. During the list, a group of other major headlines. Svtv State Government to include discipline and moral lesson in schools. Svtv State Government to establish psychiatric hospital. The federal government has stopped the popular Vision FM discussion program Idomedia. On business, Nigeria loses 557 billion naira to contract inflation. And on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau situation is said to be under control. And in sport, Cameroon's young lionesses to arrive Thursday for Falconet. That's the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Fozia Ibrahim. Do have a nice day.